You spoke about anti-music with the idea that would be the music of the future, and this idea of destroying the old academic art. Can you speak at all about the notion of anti-art as well as anti-music?
Yes, and what we were doing was one of them exploring improvisation music, group improvisation music, and the other was making tape music. We evaluated noises of their powerfulness or complexity, irregularity, and the variety of the timbres. So we often tried to perform the noise-like sound by using an orthodox way of performing instrument. It was one of the influence from making tape music. We recorded many sound outside of the campus, as well as recording the electronic sound or instrumental sound or voice, and we edited on the tape. So the technique was rather simple, and we made it into the tape music, which we called complete music, music complete.
Perhaps shifting from the east to the west, can you talk about your decision to leave Tokyo and go to New York? What motivated that move?
Okay. Through the information from just Pike and the Brecht's card, I had an interest in New York, the activities in New York, and started exchange the letters and pieces between George Machunas, and he suggested me to come to New York and join in their activities, and he promised me to support my life in New York. And actually he bought a lot of endless box to finance my travel fare. He sounded very nice person, but still it was a little bit scary for me. But one day I received a letter from George with some additional note, a comment from Mr. Akiyama, who is a music critic in Japan. And I knew him very well. And Pike, probably Ayo or Allison. And their words were so encouraging, especially Akiyama wrote to me, and people around Fluxus here, he was at that time in New York and working together with them. And people around here were very kind and nice and have a kind of empathy to your works. So there will be no worry for you to come to New York. Then I decided to go.
And when you arrived, can you describe what it was like in the New York downtown?
Downtown? Well, first George brought me to the Canal Street, and he took us like a first family. Yeah, he made a reservation of the hotel of the first few days, and he found a new apartment for us. Actually, I went to New York with Shigeko Kubota, and he tried to find a job for us, and he proposed to have dinner together, which he called dinner commune. So we used to have dinner in an apartment at Sullivan Street, and after, together with George, Pike, Shigeko, and Takako, and myself, the 5 people. And after the dinner, we went to George's loft and helped making edition, Fluxus Edition, by pasting labels or cutting paper. And on the day off, he took us to various places. But speaking of the Fluxus artists in general, I thought my impression was they are kind of independent from Machunas, and they are active in their own places. Lamontian was having concert at his loft and also the theater, and Al Hansen was organizing happening in his loft, and there was attractive concert series at Cafe Agogo titled Monday Night Letters, which was organized by George Brecht and Bob Watts, I think. And most of the Fluxus people participated in that concert series, and I participated too. And let's see, there were lots of things going, and Philip Corner had a concert at Judson Church, in which I was asked to participate from, and we joined in the box show in Byron Gallery, somewhere in Madison Avenue. I presented Endless Box, and Takako presented some of her box works, probably I would too. And well, at that time there were some visitors from Europe. I met Robert Filliou, Daniel Sperry, and Eric Anderson. Especially Robert Filliou had a concert of reciting and singing his poems, which was so impressive concert. Now, I admired Robert Filliou as a poet, very unique poet. And I visited the George Brecht house or Bob Watts' house. And Fluxus people were so nice. They often brought me to some interesting concert were happening, like the Higgins happening in the boxing ring, and Oldenburg's pool happening at poolside, some dance performances, and it sounded very active in New York at the various spots. I enjoyed them so much.
I'm interested in this idea of the concerts, and specifically the Fluxus concerts. You mentioned Canal Street, the Flux Hall.
Well, actually, when I arrived in New York, there was no concert at all. It was finished until that days. And Fluxus Hall, they call it, but actually it was a studio, and Pike was working on his robot, and Joe Jones was working his umbrella piece and mechanical guitar. So I don't think they held such concert in Flux Hall. I mean Flux, George's loft.
Mm-hmm. What about the Perpetual Flux Fest at Carnegie Hall?
Yeah, Carnegie Hall. Sorry, I couldn't attend that concert.
Okay.
I arrived after the concert.
Oh.
Okay, but I can talk about the Perpetual Flux Fest at Washington Square Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, George organized it. And on October of 1964, yeah, George told me to have a one-man show. So we performed some of my pieces together, such as Water Music and Disappearing Music for Face, or Direction Event, and Passing Music, Air Event, and so on. And they helped me a lot to perform together. I was very thankful to them. And Peter Moore took a lot of photos of that concert. And lots of Fluxus friends and other artists attended. It was kind of, as they said, a successful concert, but it's because of their help.